Hi there, it's Jen. It's Friday, July 4th. I am here live with you. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I was just eating my lunch and I spilled soup on my lunch on myself and had to quickly mop it up. Just a tip not to go live, not to eat soup right before you go live. And yes, I'm eating soup in the summertime because I had dental surgery this week and I'm still needing some soft foods. Anyways, I'm here. I'm going to get started. What I want to do is I want to share what I made the week before. And what I do is I do a draw for it. So all you have to do is to comment, like, and share. It's this cute little drink card. And actually, I want to show something that I meant to show at the end of last week's presentation, which was another card that I had made. And this was using all of the papers where I cut things out and did them rather than stamp them like I did on these ones. So I just wanted to show you that, and there was a simpler version. So I'm drawing for this card here. So of course, because I had to rush and get here, I didn't set up my draw, so I'm going to do that there. So if you're there with me, please let me know while I set this up. It'll just take me a second to do. And if you're joining me, let me know where you're joining me from. That'd be great. And how's the weather where you are? It's really warm here today. And I'm looking forward to later today jumping in the pool. So let me just find where I am here. Just give me 1 second. And I do thank you for joining me. Here we go. So last week was way back in June. It's July now. Okay, so I've got it here. So let me just share my screen. And I'm going to say hello to Judy. Judy, I am feeling better. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's see here. Things have changed just a little bit in the software, which is fine. We can usually find our way around here. Here we go. Okay, so let me get the comments and then do the draw. As long as you're Canadian and not a demonstrator, you can win. So I'm doing a draw for this card here. And the way to get in on the draw for this week, Mary Jose, hello, how are you? MJ, is to comment, like, or share, and you'll get in the draw. So I'll get that card in the mail to you, Mary Jose. And let's just pop right back to the table here. And like I said, these were all made with the Cheers and Sips bundle, very cute bundle. I just about have a blog post on my blog with this card on it. Imagine that. I'll put a comment here when I have that done. So I'll put those all there so you can see them all. Okay, so today I'm going to work with something here called Beautiful Motifs. Now these are gorgeous papers. And I've got just one of each of the sheets here. This is a pack, it's 48. So there's 12 different designs, 4 of each in the package. So I have one of each of the designs here to show you. So I said they're beautiful, and the first thing that comes up is the map. But on the other side, look how beautiful that is. So there's always like an A side and a B side to this. So this is a nice wood grain. So there's often times that you want those kind of designs. But look at how stunning that is. And then there's this one with that beautiful scene. So I guess I have the B sides all up right now. And this one, so pretty. Judy says she's watching from Calgary. It is partly cloudy and cooler today. And hello to Donna from Washington. Welcome, ladies. Thanks for joining me. And if you're catching the replay later, let me know. So these are just all stunning papers. Like it's almost hard to make anything with them because they're just so pretty on their own. Hope that's a duplicate. I think that's a duplicate too. This one, gorgeous. I did make some samples with this one here, so I'll show you that at the end. I won't forget this time. They're all super pretty colors. It's petal pink and Lost Lagoon. Basic gray, Eclipse-Color, cloud cover, crumb cake, early espresso, mossy meadow, peach pie, pecan pie, secret side, and smoky slate. All gorgeous colors. So what I'm going to do, I feel like there's one missing. I'm just going to put this over to the side here. This is I have a double pack here. And I'm going to pull out the one that I want to work with here. Hopefully I can, if I've missed one, then you'd see it. I might actually do this one. Let me think about that for a second. I should just stick with what I planned, right? I think I'm going to stick with this one, which is the one I planned. Although that other one is a very close second, I think. I think I'll stick with this one because I've got a cute little technique I want to show you on there. So I'm going to use that one. And I'm also going to use these dies. So these dies are fun. They are large, really large dies. They're not inexpensive. I'll actually pull them up in the store and I'll show them to you, but they're very, very cool. So there's the whole alphabet. They're called Crafting with You. There's that's not the right name. I'm going to pull them up in the store so you can see them. And hello to Vila too. How are you? So I'm just going to pull them up in the store and then I'll share that with you so you can see. So they are called, so here we go, share screen. Share screen. They're called the Party Alphabet Dies. So you can see them there. They're $135, but you get all those dies, including some of the funny stuff and some punctuation and things. So they're very cool. I'll just copy that into the into StreamYard here so we can see that. And I want to show you, I don't know why that popped up with my face again too. Let me pop that back. I want to show you something really quickly. I'm a little squirrely here today, I know. This is a banner I just made for my dad's birthday, which we had last weekend. And so I did this whole banner that had happy birthday. And I used all those letters like that. And then the birthday part starts and it's got like a B and all that. So it's the whole banner is there. And I put the dad at the end with an exclamation mark. And so I can totally reuse these to put someone else's name at the end as well. Anyways, so it's just kind of fun. Those are the banner dies too, which I almost used today to make a project with you, but I changed my mind and decided just to use these. Okay, so I have got here this, which is a word. It says hug. And the way I did that was I lined it up. I thought actually I would try and do it. I try to rush all the time because I don't want to keep you guys because I know I have things to do, but I think I need to show this because it's kind of cool. And it's a little tip that you can do if you want to use your dies over and over again for something, or if you want to be sure they're not going to move on you. Okay, so I can't use the U because I've got it in my hug. So I'll show you what I did here. So I laid this out as if I was going to put it on a card, and I figured out my spacing. So actually for this card, I'm doing a slightly smaller card. So this is the spacing here. So I did this and figured out where they would go. Okay, so then I moved it off here. I made sure to line it up. So then I would put the U there. And then I took a piece of packaging tape and I pulled it out. And I picked up the dies like that. And then I flipped them over. I'm sorry, there's obviously a delivery at my house and my dog's going crazy. And I put packaging tape on the other side. So now this is encased in packaging tape. It's not sticky, and I can use it. So it's a really cool way that you can do up those dies or any other dies that you need to have stay in position. So, and this way I can make a couple cards. I'm just gonna put these dies off to the side so I don't lose them. Okay, so the other thing I have here to show you is this is a piece of two-toned cardstock. It comes like in a 12 by 12 sheet. Here's a piece of it. And I apologize for the dog barking. So this is petal pink. So there's what dark on one side and then a lighter on the other side. So you might be able to see it better if I just put these two pieces together. So like that, there you go. See the dark side and the light side. So I'm going to use that. And the card size that I'm doing is the same that I did for this card. And that is a 6 by 7 card. And yes, I know it won't fit the standard envelopes, but we're going to deal with that at the end as well. Hello to Kathleen and to Lorraine. Kathleen says it's the first time making it live. Paulette says a great tip for encasing the dies. Yeah, it's really cool. So I've got this 6 by 7. So I've scored it at 3.5 on the 7. So now this is going to become a nice little card like this that is going to perfectly fit my hug. So this is going to go like this. And I'm going to use this paper to be able to peek through it. So a couple things I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my machine. Just move everything aside here. And I'm pulling my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and this folder. It's the Exposed Brick 3D Embossing folder. And I'm going to emboss this cardstock. So I'll pull this in. And I'm going to just put the camera up a little bit so we can see better. There we go. And to do this folder, we need just plate 1. I need the paper here in the folder, and I want the lighter side up. So in order to get the design on the lighter side, you put it on the Stampin' Up side, and that'll give you that design there. Now, my other card, my sample that I have, is done the opposite way, so we'll be able to see an opposite version of that. So it goes in with the seam towards the middle of the machine, and then plate 4 on top, and it reels through. Okay, and then while I have this here, I'm also going to, see there, you can see the design. Actually, I said I'm also going to do something, but I'm not. I'm going to move it for a second. Lots of moving around here today, because I want to sand this a little bit now before I cut it out some more. So you can see that design there. I want to pop the camera down for a second. And then I'm going to take my sanding block. Now this is just a nail sanding block that I've had forever. And it's just a really light sanding block that you could get from, like I said, nail store or something like that. Or you could get a super, super light grit of sandpaper. And because this two-tone cardstock has white in the center of the cardstock, when you sand it, I apologize for the dog. You can see that there's what the white core of the paper is coming through, and it looks very cool. My dog is an Australian Shepherd. Oops. This paper is a little lighter than normal cardstock, so you don't want to be careful with it. And this is very protective. I won't talk when I'm sanding. Very protective of the house. So whenever there's a delivery, he barks his little head off. And obviously there is maybe someone standing at the door right now. There we go. So I've got that. I've lost my dust mitt. So I'm just going to use my hands. So look how cool that looks already. All right, now I'm going to bring back in the machine. Oh my goodness. You heard that. That was everything falling on the floor. That's fine. So we have plate 1, plate 2, moving up here, plate 3, this paper, my hugs that I made, my hug. I wanted to do hugs, but it didn't fit, and I didn't want to make the card much bigger than I did. So, but if you made the card a little bit bigger, you could make it bigger. So I'm just positioning this on here. I'm gonna move the camera over a little bit so you can see like that. It's pretty heavy, so I don't feel like I need to tape it down or anything. I think it's gonna stay in place. And put my plate 3 over top, and away we go through the machine. Crack, pop, snap, crackle, pop. Okay, final time I'm getting the machine out of the way. And I'm going to just put things here. And I'm going to put the camera back down. Woo! Okay, so let's peel this off. Look how cool that is. And then, of course, we have all these letters here. Just going to grab my Take a Pic tool. And you can pop those out. Even with the tape on there, it still works, which is quite amazing. And I could leave this on here for as long as I want to do this particular style of card. But there I've got my cute letters, which I can totally use as well for another project. So I'll have to do that so you can see that. So I've got this. I've got my card base. I've got my piece of paper. So what I'm going to do, this is a 6x3, so I'm going to cut this down to 3 inches. And then I have another 3 inches that I can still use for something. Now there isn't much usable on this piece, but there is on that side, but I'm actually still going to use something there. Now I need to cut this down just a little bit more, and I found actually that just cutting right on those lines works. So it's just a little bit to make it just a smidge smaller than this piece here so that you don't see it. Okay, so look how pretty that is so far. So this is what else I'm going to do. Because these flowers are kind of vanilla, I decided that I wanted to make them a little more petal pink looking. So I'm going to take my petal pink marker, my blends marker. This is just the light version. And I'm going to just add some color to these flowers. Nothing major. I'm going to hold that up so you can see. So you can see this one is a little more pink than the other ones, and I can even use my dark petal pink. I'm gonna make this one a little bit darker. So have a look there. So it's kind of like, you know, when you used to color, and this one I'm just going to add some swirls just to add the color in. When you used to color like black and white photographs or pieces of black and white photographs, it's kind of the same idea. Have a look there. Isn't that cool? So let's just add a little bit more to this one here. A little bit here. Just some swirly lines maybe. So pretty. And then I'm going to even just color these little buds a little bit darker too. Okay. What you think? Okay, so I'm going to attach this directly onto here. And the other 2 samples that I have to show you, I've actually used dimensionals on here. So I'll show you what that looks like too. This is just a little faster for the live, but I do want to show you a tip even for the dimensionals. Of course, my fingers are sticking here. Like I said, you've got to be a little more delicate with this piece because it is a little thinner than regular cardstock, this two-tone cardstock, but it is so cool. The fact that you have the 2 colors, the fact that you've got those, the ability to sand it is very cool. Oops, and I forgot. What we want to do first is put this on here. I'm going to pop it right onto my card base, right in the center. Okay, and then this one is going to go right over top. Just going to make sure that it's all lined up before I let it sit down here. You could use a liquid glue for this too if you wanted. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Oops, that one's over just a little bit. Oh dear. Let's see if we can get that up. Okay, so a liquid glue would be good for this too, but luckily I didn't press down too hard. I must have cut just a little bit too much off of that one. And if I move it over too much, then it's going to be out of sync. So I'm going to take my handy dandy Take a Pick tool with this little blade, and I'm going to just loosen this one. Just go all the way around. This is a bonus lesson. How to lift things up that you've already stuck down. And I'm just going to move it over a little tiny bit so that it fits. Add more tape, of course. Just going to offset this a little bit more than normal. I've just got a smaller border. You can see it there. See the little smaller border there. Okay, so let's get this back on here. What's everyone up to this weekend? Doing anything? It's supposed to be warm here in Kingston, Ontario. So I'll probably spend some time in my pool. I haven't been in the pool all week just because my mouth has been sore and I haven't felt like doing much other than crafting. Okay, so there we go. How pretty is that? Hug with the beautiful background and the colored beautiful flower in behind. So let's add in a couple things. One, I'm going to add a greeting. So I was looking at all my greetings trying to find something that works. This is a new stamp set. It's called Jar of Joy. It matches the jar punch. It's just came out July 1st in the online exclusives. And it's got this greeting here, sending a jar full of cheer. So I thought I could take it and take a piece of white, which I set out, which is now missing, but that's okay because I always have lots of pieces of white. And there you go. There's always little bits. I always save all my little bits. And I'm going to take the stamp set, which I do have here, and Mossy Meadow to match the card base. And I'm going to stamp here. This one's a little wonky here. Sending a jar. So hold on, I'm going to just get a wipey or something here and wipe that off so we don't accidentally use it. So I'm going to grab a pair of scissors. Maybe not my ribbon scissors. Love, love, love these colors and flowers. They're so pretty, aren't they, Lorraine? So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to cut it. Oh, and we don't want a jar hug. Sending a jar hug. We want just sending a hug. That's what we want. And so I'm going to add that on there. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut out this part here. Of course, I won't throw this away because I can still use that for something else. I'll just add it to my pile of papers. And I'm going to just cut this out around the leaves. I'm not going to try and go all around the little tiny bits and pieces. Make it a straight cut. I thought this would be a very pretty little accessory on top. Let's see here. Dog has stopped barking. That's a good sign. Okay, so there's a cute little flower bit that we're going to use. Okay, so let's put this together. I've also got a piece of new, it's called Petal Pink, and it's like a trim. Let me hold this up so you can see it. It's very pretty braided trim, but this was too heavy, I thought. So what I did was I started to unbraid this. And so when you unbraid it, that's a word, unbraid, you get all these really nice fibers. So then you could then take a piece of the fiber and cut it. Way to make your twine last for forever and ever. And I'm just going to tie a bow. So I just do a really loose, rough bow. I love this twine because it's got little fibers coming off of it. It's very rustic looking. Just maybe could have gone a little bit longer to give myself a little bit more room. Okay, so I've got like a loose bow here, and I'm just going to pull the ends and get it looking a little prettier. Just like that. How cute is that little bow? All right, and we'll just trim it. Okay, so I'm going to use dimensionals for this. Oh yeah, I was going to show you something. So we have dimensionals, which is what I'm using here for this piece. Just a little foam backing adhesive, double-sided, so that you can just pop stuff up. It's always great to pop something up on your card. Just makes it look a little more professional. But we also have these, which are little strips, which you can use to make shaker cards. And we have sheets of this. This is just a piece cut down. So both of these would be great to use on the back of that hugs to put dimensionals. So that's an idea for you instead of having to peel off 1,000 dimensionals to get that working. Okay, so let's do one dimensional on here. Okay, and then I'm going to use glue dots. And I got my spatula right here. Perfect. One there. And one. It's all about the right adhesive, right? Getting the right adhesive. So I'm going to have that one sort of pop up a little bit, but those ones lay flat. And then I'm going to grab another glue dot and stick it right there and put my cute little bow here. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Sending a hug. How adorable is that? Villa says she loves that DSP. I know, it's so pretty. That whole package is adorable. And just a reminder, it is called Beautiful Gallery. Beautiful gallery. And I'll show you a couple other ones that I did. So I'm going to add some gems here too, of course. So I've got these ones, also new, Charming Shimmer Faceted Dots, Petal Pink, which is the color I'm using. It's either Strawberry Starch or Melon Mambo. I think it might be Melon Mambo, or maybe Berry Burst. I don't know. And a navy. So very pretty. It doesn't say on there. I'll have to look it up. So I'm going to grab some of these. As soon as I have this end out, I'll use this end because it works just fine. So I'm going to put the gems. We'll do all big ones here. Right into the hug. Sending a hug. How cute is that? Beautiful, eh? Okay, so let me show you the other couple ones I did. So I did a very simple version of this one. So this is with that beautiful blue paper. So I didn't emboss this. I just did the hug and put the paper down. I did Sending and I did a butterfly from the Beautiful Butterflies dies and added this is Cloud Cover, that color. There's one of my dimensional pieces. Cloud Cover. And there's a Cloud Cover little gem there. So very pretty, nice and simple. That would be a quick and easy card to do. But then, of course, I had to take it up a notch. Oh, Villa says she loves the leaves added. I know, it's pretty, isn't it? So here is this one taken up a notch. So this one I've added an extra layer. You can see my strips of dimensionals there. So I've got some basic beige in there. I've put this on a little die cut. I've added a little piece of twine. I've added some more of those smoky slate gems, and this time I've stamped a butterfly from the Beautiful Butterflies and colored it, put Wings of Stella on it, and did it. So Diego, you can really see the dimension on this too with the how this is raised. Same with this one. So I'm not sure whether I like it flat or raised. I really can't decide, but there's so many cards I want to try with that stamp set with those papers, because I just think there'd be so many cool things. Like I said, I was really tempted by this one. Especially since I think I could get 2 out of there. Where are my hugs? Put them somewhere safe. Anyways, I'm not done yet because I just want to show you one more. I also think one of these would be beautiful in the background too. Here's the hug right here. It's hard to picture exactly, but something like that. It would just be gorgeous. Okay, so one more thing I want to do here. I'm making such a mess, you guys. It's awesome. Is I want to make an envelope because this is a funny size, like I said. So, more stuff on the floor. Beautiful card packing tape is versatile in crafting, isn't it? Okay, so I've got my paper trimmer here, and I've got a pretty piece of paper. I don't know what it's called. Woven Textures, maybe? Something like that. Woven Textures, that's what it's called. And so to make an envelope, what I did was I took a piece of computer paper. This is actually my little sample here. And I just laid my card down. And then I figured out what the dimensions were going to be. So I've got them here for you so that you don't have to think about this. So I made this 9 3/4. So let me just get this measured here. 9 3/4. I thought I would cut it real time for you. 9 3/4 by 8 1/2. So you could use computer paper if you want. You could use some old retired designer series paper if you want. Whatever you want. This is a current piece. I just thought it had a nice look with the card that I just made. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it at 1 1/8. Now when I do my blog post, this will all be on the blog post. 1 1/8 on each of the long sides. So I'm just going here, 1 1/8. And I'm just using the scoring tool, which is the lighter version of these 2 blades. And then I'm going to score it at 2 3/4 and 6 1/2. I'm just going to pull this arm out again. 6 1/2. Okay, let me get that out of the way. So then I'm going to fold up all those score lines. This looks like it's the wrong size. This looks a bit small. So you know what? I'm going to make it anyways. I've obviously cut something wrong, but I'll show you a finished envelope. But just to show you can customize the size basically by laying your card in there. I've cut this to, this is not at 8 1/2. It looks like I've cut it at 6 1/2. You know what? Yeah, I'll just continue on here so you can see. So what you want to do is you can figure out, do you want the front flap to be like that, or do you want it to be longer? So I like it short. So on this end here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out these two sections. I'll actually do up a template too for this so you can see. I've made so many of my own envelopes over the years. And there's like a bazillion different ways to do it. So I've got that piece, and then I'm also going to cut in here and here. And then one of the tips to make envelopes look nice is just to go in and shave a little bit there and there. So it's like a little, can you see that little triangle I'm taking out of it right there? That's what you're doing, taking a little triangle out there just to make the envelope a little more shaped. So I'm going to do that here. And I'm going to do it here. Just a little piece. And you could even do it here if you want, but I don't trust myself on camera to cut it nice and straight. Then the other thing you're going to do is you're going to decide how you want the flap of your envelope to look. So you could just cut it mostly straight and then just curve it at the end like that. Or you could do a bigger curve. So if I did a bigger curve like this, like that, then what you want to do is you want to take this piece and lay it here so that you would get the same curve. But I'm not doing that because I don't have my pencil handy. So my envelope might be a little bit wonky, but you get the idea. Okay, then you're going to fold in your envelope here. Now you decide if you don't like that side as the piece that's showing, then you can flip it over and do it the other way. The other thing is these are a little large. Size for my other envelope, so I'm just going to trim them down. So once you've got the basic shape, you can customize this any way you want. Okay, those could go on the outside as well, but I kind of like them on the inside. And there you go. There's the envelope. That's simple. And then you, of course, you have to put a label on there. So here's a sample one that I made that actually does fit properly. So you can see that I cut that at 6.5 instead of the extra 2 inches. I don't know why I did that. So this would fit in here. Obviously this does not match, but it would fit in there, and you put a little bit of tape on there or washi tape, and you have your beautiful custom envelope. But this would be so pretty if it fit. So pretty. Okay, guys. Wow, I can't believe I got through that because it seemed like there was lots of stuff between my soup on my shirt and things falling on the ground. I did it. So let me just pull in these other 2 cards here so you have them so you can see them. And I'll put them here instead of my face. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. In order to get in on the draw for this card, and obviously I put a piece of white or something in there too so you can write in it. Just be sure to comment, like, or share. And I thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend doing whatever you're doing. And I will see you here again next Friday. And look for my blog post. I'm going to try and get this up by Monday so that I have all the dimensions and everything there for you. Thanks so much, guys. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye-bye now.